Tonight on News 3 New Mexico, across the country right now, gas stations are pushing up prices bit by bit.
Is this wind ever going to calm down? Find out in my full weather forecast.
And schools are distributing free meals to all students without verifying their family's income. All that and more on News 3 New Mexico right now.
This is News 3 New Mexico, your local source for news, sports, and first weather.
This is News 3 New Mexico. I am Olayinka Sodunke.
And I am Bradley Wise. New Mexico's Democratic governor has signed tax relief legislation that hands out $250 individual rebates in an election year and narrows income taxes on Social Security to upper-income retirees. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham on Tuesday signed a bill with an array of tax rebate, credit, and rate changes worth about $530 million in the initiative's first year. She also urged Congress to suspend the federal gasoline tax in response to rising fuel prices and President Biden's decision to cut off Russian oil imports. New Mexico was experiencing a windfall of state government income linked to oil production and federal pandemic aid. New Mexico's Supreme Court has ruled that citizens can't convene grand juries to investigate the governor's response to COVID-19 because her actions were lawful and within the scope of her authority. The High Court's order Monday schedules 3 grand jury petitions in the politically conservative southeastern corner of the state against New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham. The justices also ordered district courts to deny any similar petitions as they are filed. In the response to the pandemic, the Democratic governor has pursued aggressive emergency public health orders that restricted non-essential business, imposed extended mask mandates, and enabled many public schools to suspend classroom teaching for a year or more. The orders have withstood multiple legal challenges.
Now, Cowboys for Trump co-founder Couy Griffin says it won't run for re-election on the Otero County Commission in southern New Mexico, a seek other public office in the 2022 election cycle. A crucial registration deadline passed, and Griffin said Tuesday that he has lost faith in the political system and the ability to effect change through elected office, though he will continue to be vocal. Griffin said the decision to sit out the election was not tied to his legal defense against misdemeanor criminal charges stemming from the January the 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Griffin denies allegations that he knowingly entered barricaded areas of the Capitol grounds. Now, Albuquerque police say a man who was killed when shot by police after a February the 25th pursuit has been identified as the person who killed a spa worker 10 days earlier. According to Albuquerque Police Chief Harold Medina, evidence from fingerprints, surveillance video, and a reported admission by Rafael Marquez to another person tied Marquez to the killing at the Qitana Spa Massage. The victim's identity hasn't been released. Marquez was shot near Belen during an encounter with law enforcement officers following a pursuit on Interstate 25. Police said Marquez also was a person of interest in the December the 24th homicide and that evidence connects him to that killing. Now, Payton, what's going on with the weather? It was hot last week. Now it's all windy and cold. What's going on?
It's going to be sweltering like last week?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to get very much warmer after this because that's what it's like in New Mexico. It's hot one week and it's cold the next. Let's check it out on my first weather.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so as you guys can feel, it's definitely colder than it was last week. If we look towards the northwestern part of the state, we got 47 in Farmington, 47 in Gallup, 46 in Santa Fe, 54 in Albuquerque. Things are cooling down quite a bit across the board here. Let's look at that satellite and radar. Not a whole lot of activity. There's a little bit when it comes to the north, but besides that, not a whole lot going on. Let's go ahead and check that wind out. Wind speeds across the state are pretty much the same, but, you know, they're still pretty high. So, as you can see, most of the state is covered in at least 20 miles per hour winds. Portales, eastern New Mexico, we're getting hit the hardest. Now, whenever we fast forward, that switches to a different story. As you can see, the rest of the state is covered in pink, not necessarily covered in pink, but, you know, yellow, pink, 20, 30, 40 miles per hour winds. You know, it's pretty ugly out there. Now, let's fast forward one more time. And same spot, actually, still getting hit with a lot of wind in this area, but eastern New Mexico, things kind of calm down quite a bit. Fast forward one more time, and yeah, I mean, for the rest of the week, things are looking pretty calm and pretty modest. Let's take it back to Brad and Olayinka at the desk.
A man sought in the 2020 strangulation killing of a New Mexico woman has been extradited to the United States after being arrested in Mexico. Prosecutors say 34-year-old Jorge Rico Rivera will stand trial in Roswell in the killing of Isela Sanchez, the 27-year-old mother of his young son. An Amber Alert was issued for the son, Osiel Ernesto Rico, when the father fled to Mexico, but officials announced last year that the boy had been found safe. Rico Rivera is represented by the State Public Defender's Office. An office spokesperson did not immediately respond to the request for a comment on behalf of Rico Rivera.
Police in Portales have arrested a 35-year-old woman in connection with a hit-and-run reported on Sunday. Police stated in a news release on Monday that they had arrested Kristen Schumann on charges. She left the scene of a crash that occurred on West 18th Street. Schumann was charged with leaving the scene of a crash involving great bodily harm or death, careless driving, and other traffic-related charges. She was booked into the Roosevelt County Detention Center and will be waiting for the court proceedings.
Prosecutors are seeking to keep in custody a New Mexico woman accused of causing a crash last week that killed a police officer and a retired firefighter after she allegedly lied about having been kidnapped. A hearing has been scheduled next week to determine if Janine Jaramillo will remain locked up pending trial. Jaramillo faces 2 counts of murder and other charges stemming from a deadly wrong-way pursuit along Interstate 25 near Santa Fe. Jaramillo has a criminal record that includes 2 police pursuits in Cibola County last fall and stolen vehicles. Her public defender didn't immediately return a message seeking comment. Well, that is all the news we have for you right now. Be sure to tune back in after the break for another look at Payton's full weather.
But first, here is a look at the financial market.
Welcome back. So, like I was saying, in the northwestern part of the state, things are getting cold, you know? I mean, for most of the state, things are getting cold, but especially there. 47 in Gallup and Farmington. 46 Santa Fe, 54 Albuquerque, 61 in Socorro, 63 in Truth or Consequences. And let's flip it over to our little slice of heaven. 67 in Roswell, 55 in Santa Rosa. I had to dodge my head right there. 61 in Tucumcari, 58 in Clovis, 64 in Hobbs. Things are cooling down across the board. Let's look at that future satellite and radar. Now, the north looks like they're going to get a pretty nice storm. You know, nice little light showers, a little bit of cloud cover. Eastern New Mexico, are we going to get to see anything? Doesn't look like it. Maybe a little bit of cloud cover, but it doesn't look like we're going to get a lot of action over here. Let's look at tonight's lows. As you can see, we got 12 in Raton, 15 in Clayton. Let me move my head real quick. 16 in Farmington, 13 in Gallup. You guys are going to want to double up on your socks and probably wear an electric blanket tonight. Let's go to our little slice of heaven over here. 20 in Tucumcari, 17 in Clovis, 19 in Portales. And I bet that wind's going to be blowing tonight too. Let's look at tomorrow's highs. Now, across the board, things are looking pretty much the same as today. We got 64 in Socorro, 65 in Truth or Consequences, 69 in Alamogordo, 53 in Ruidoso. So, I mean, pretty much the same. A little cool, not too cold. Let's go to eastern New Mexico again. 42 in Tucumcari, 49 in Clovis, 55 in Portales. You know, things are cool. It's probably what you would expect for March. Let's go ahead and look at that 7-day forecast. Now we got 72 on Thursday in Carlsbad, 29 Thursday night. Make sure you want to bundle up that night. 20 degrees on Friday night as well. But looks like next week things are going to start warming up. 79 on Tuesday, 86 on Wednesday. That really stood out to me. Let's go to Roswell. We got 70 degrees on Thursday with 26 at night. Looks like you guys are going to be expecting some snow showers there. 49% chance on Friday. But the rest of the week looks like you guys are getting up to 83 next week around this time. Let's go to Tucumcari and the rest of Quay County. Looks like Sunday things are going to be getting pretty windy, but besides that, you guys aren't expecting too much snow, so I guess things are happy there. 19 degrees Friday night though, 62 on Saturday, 71 on Sunday, so your weekend's going to be nice and warm. Home sweet home of Eastern New Mexico, Portales, and it looks like 55 today, 39 tomorrow. Expect some snow, 63% chance of AM snow showers there. Getting down to 39, 19 degrees. I don't even know how that happens, but it gets to 60 on Saturday. And then the rest of the week, things are looking really warm.
Okay, then I think Friday is the day to look out for right now. It's going to be snowy and it's going to get pretty cold though.
Oh man, sounds cold.
Yes, but I think I'll just get ready for that, get my blanket and all of that.
Get your blanket, get your mittens, and your electric blanket too.
I'll get an extra sweater.
An extra sweater, yeah, going to want to bundle up for that.
Okay, then that works. But yeah, we'll be back after this break.
Across the country right now, gas stations are pushing up prices bit by bit. U.S. gas prices have never been this high, ever. Monday night, the national average hit $4.14 a gallon, breaking the previous record of $4.11 set back in 2008. But enough stations raised their prices even further Tuesday morning, hiking the day's average to $4.17, according to AAA. And it'll only keep going up as Russia continues its military offensive in Ukraine. In fact, one energy expert says 5 gallons of gas nationwide is possible.
4 men have been convicted in Paris of terrorist conspiracy after the murder of a Catholic priest in a nomadic church in 2016, an attack claimed by the Islamic State group. The 4 were handed sentence of between 8 years and life in prison on Wednesday over the attack of a 85-year-old father. The father was stabbed in a church by 2 19-year-olds as he finished mass. 2 nuns and an elderly couple were held hostage. The 2 attackers were killed by police as they left the church. The 4 men on trial were accused of having helped or encouraged the attack. The Archbishop for the region welcomed the verdict. Now, the new congressional spending bill does not include an extension of school lunch waivers. The waivers authorized at the beginning of the pandemic let school distribute free meals to all students without verifying their family's income. The waivers also give districts the flexibility to offer grab-and-go meals for kids who are quarantining or studying remotely. The USDA reports about 30 million students now receive free school meals. That's up from about 20 million children who qualified before the pandemic. Some lawmakers are pushing to extend the waivers for another year to give schools and students more time to transition back to pre-pandemic requirements. That is all the news that we have for you right now.
Make sure to come back after the break for sports with Qitana Sapiga.
Welcome back to News 3 New Mexico. I'm Qitana Sapiga, and tonight I have an update on the current MLB Lockout, as well as game highlights and awards for some Greyhound athletes. Following last week's announcement from MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred regarding the MLB Lockout and game cancellations, the Players Union has since reached out and has made its first proposal. In the 90-minute meeting, the players were open to allowing Manfred and the league to make 3 on-field changes. These changes are a pitch clock, larger bases, and shift restrictions. Should these changes meet approval, they wouldn't go into effect until 2023. The pitch clock can be one of the biggest factors that would speed up game times. Right now, the league's intentions with it is to establish a 14-second pitch clock with empty bases and a 19-second timer with runners on base. This would mean speeding up time in between pitches as a way to improve the pace of the game overall. Besides the proposal to install a pitch clock, along with larger bases and shift restrictions, the players of course discussed wages and taxes in their proposal. The league was underwhelmed with the proposition and did not accept. MLB spokesman Glenn Kaplan said, "We are deadlocked. We will try to figure out how they respond, but nothing in this proposal makes it easy." Moving forward, the league and players union will continue to meet and exchange proposals until terms are agreed upon. But the series cancellations at the opening of regular season still stand. NMAA high school girls basketball state playoffs have begun. After the Portales Rams took out Los Alamos in round 1 last Friday, they met up with the Highland Hornets in the quarterfinals yesterday. This matchup was expected to be a close game as Portales is seeded number 4 in the tournament and Highlands was seeded number 5. A lot of the Rams' offense was played at the hoop, and that's where they found success. Number 11, Kylie Payton, was very active in the Rams' offense last night and is a big part of their defense as well. Highland was able to match their performance at the hoop and put themselves in a good position throughout the 4 quarters. At the free throw line, the Hornets were very consistent and were able to secure a few points here and there. The game came down to the last few minutes, and with some clutch plays from the Rams, they jumped ahead of the Hornets to seal the deal. The Rams won 48-45 and will advance to the semifinals in the state tournament. The semifinal game is tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. at the Pit at the University of New Mexico. Last Saturday was a busy day for Eastern athletics as Greyhound softball and baseball had doubleheaders against Texas A&M Commerce and UTPB. In Game 1, Greyhound softball played 7 innings against the number 23 ranked Lions and bested them 8-5. Brooke Ledger pitched 5 innings and was rewarded with the win. She collected 8 strikeouts, which was a huge contribution to Eastern's first win of conference play. Greyhound baseball went 1-3 in their series against UTPB. In Game 1, the Hounds pushed the Falcons into extra innings. After the 12th inning, they were able to get the job done 10-9. Game 2 was a high-scoring game, and the Hounds outlasted the Falcons again 15-12. Unfortunately, UTPB caught up with Eastern in Game 3 and won 6-4. But Eastern closed out the series with a win 11-9. The Hounds' next series is against UT Tyler this weekend at Irwin Field, and Greyhound softball's next series is against Angelo State this weekend at Mayer Field. Before we go, 7 Greyhounds have received all-conference honors after the Lone Star Conference Track and Field Indoor Championships. Let's take a look. Malathabo Sema earned first place in the 800-meter run with a time of 2 minutes and 15 seconds. This is the fastest time run by an LSC student athlete this season. As a result, she earned first team all-conference. Emanata Kenyawani earned second place in the 5,000-meter run, which got her on the second team all-conference. Ariana Haid participated in the long jump and triple jump events and was awarded third team all-conference. Along with Haid, the distance relay medley team earned third place all-conference with its runners Lathabo Sema, Alicia Haid, Kaylin De La Rosa, and Marta Pascoa. That is all the sports I have for you tonight, but stay tuned and you'll be back after this break.
A trooper takes a head-on crash to protect military runners, and a cat rescuing hero needs a hero's help himself. Coming up in today's Take a Look at This.
A Florida state trooper is recovering after sacrificing her own safety to protect thousands of runners from a suspected drunk driver in a speeding car. It happened just off Tampa's Sunshine Skyway Bridge, where thousands were participating in the Skyway 10K, an annual road race to benefit military families. At the same time, authorities were alerted to a driver who'd sped through road closures and was heading toward the race. That's when Master Trooper Tony Shuck bravely used her patrol vehicle as a barricade, stopping the speeding suspect head-on. Both Shuck and the driver were injured but are recovering. The suspect is now facing multiple charges. Skyway 10K organizers later posted to Facebook thanking the heroic 26-year law enforcement veteran and her partners for going above and beyond the call of duty. You know, sometimes even a hero needs help from heroes. Such was the case at a park in Indianapolis, Indiana, where a 17-year-old spotted a cat in a tree. The boy climbed roughly 35 feet up to help the animal, but because no good deed goes unpunished, the teen then became stuck himself. Multiple emergency response teams were called out to execute a rope rescue to bring down the well-intentioned kid, who, apart from some scrapes, was unharmed. As for the cat, it reportedly made no effort to come down, instead sitting back and enjoying the mess it had made. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Okay, then I think that was a very funny cat, but then that was a good one though. Peyton, what's the weather looking like again?
You know what? I'll give you guys one last look at the weather, but I think things are going to cool down quite a bit. Sorry, Olayinka.
Okay. Any wind or cold?
It's probably going to be pretty windy and pretty cold.
Oh, cross our fingers.
Now let's look at that. Wednesday today, you guys know it was pretty windy at 68, and tomorrow at Thursday it's going to be nice and sunny at 71, just for Olayinka right there. And Friday, partly cloudy at 41. Expect some snow, expect some flurries, because I bet things are going to start cooling down now.
Okay, then looking forward to Thursday, but Friday it's going to be cold. So, oh Lord, I mean, looking at how how the weather's going to be like 41 on Friday. Wow.
Very wishy-washy
Oh, wow.
around this time of the year, you know. Spring is just very chaotic, you know.
Yes.
I guess we just gotta pray, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, then. Thank you very much for watching News 3 New Mexico. Have a great night.